Brian Grimes, your real estate mentor, back with another action-packed session. Today, we're going to be talking about how to win more offers. So if you're a new real estate investor, maybe you've been struggling to get good deals, get more deals, win offers. We're kind of all out there. If you're on the buy side, at least, if you're doing the BRRRR strategy, we're battling the market. We're fighting against sellers. We're going to auctions. We're trying to get more deal flow. And this knowledge that I'm giving you guys today, it's battle tested, right? Like I'm on pace to do over 100 deals this year. So this is not just like new information that worked years ago or worked a decade ago. I'm actually doing this right now in today's market at a very high pace where we can hit 100 plus deals, which is about 10 deals per month closed on average, maybe a little bit more. So definitely take this information and test it, utilize it, but you do have to trust the process a bit. Things in real estate can have delays on them. They can work. They can stop working at times. You have to make different tweaks and update to the market. But definitely stay tapped into the end. You will learn something of value, and it'll help you to get more deals under your belt if your goal is to get enough properties to break free from the 9 to 5. If you're new to the channel, like, comment, subscribe. Leave a comment that says I subscribed. If you're on IG, just DM me cash flow, DM me wealth, DM me boots on the ground if you're interested in kind of what we do. But leave a comment on YouTube. I subscribed. I'll send you instant access to my new free real estate training. It's a webinar, about 30 minutes. It'll show you how I scaled in my top 3 strategies that you guys can tap into today to start to make serious money. So definitely do that. If you're interested in our real estate ride along tour, we have the next ride along November 16th. I'll be posting kind of links to that in the IG story. So definitely check there, or you can DM me, email me, text me to get in on that. Those sell out pretty quickly. And I'm constantly posting content on that if you want to see kind of what it's like. And then we have the Boots on the Ground program, which is where we will find, finance, rehab, tenant, and manage properties for you. If you're interested in that, then definitely reach out. The mindset for today is really to just never take no for an answer. And I say that a lot of the time for new real estate investors in particular. If you're a new real estate investor, you're going to hear no a lot, even if you're experienced. I think as an experienced investor, you just get used to it. You stop really listening at all. But you're going to hear no a lot. You're going to hear no from different lenders. They don't want to fund your deal. They'll tell you no. Sellers will tell you no on pricing. Rehabbers may tell you no. Contractors may tell you no. Oh, you can't do this. We can't do that. You kind of have to push back appropriately. You have to understand where to push and what the headaches are, the hiccups are, but think outside of the box. You can get around a lot of the issues that are presented to you as a new real estate investor, but don't take no, as a final answer. No is just the first no. That just means you have more work to do, more thinking to do, more navigating to do, and you'll get to where you want to go. So always keep pushing yourself as a new real estate investor. Stay locked in on that mindset and stay locked in on the market. I wanted to bring up this market statistic. This is the last 90 days of 30-year mortgage rates. So we're down a full percentage point off of July 1st, hovering right around 6.03% as the average 30-year mortgage rate. So we may see something with a 5 in front of it this year, which I've been talking about for maybe about 2 years. I've been saying that. And I've been projecting that by the end of this year, we would see something maybe with a 5 in front of it. This means cash flow is unlocking for the new investors out there, the average investors out there, even the experienced pros. Interest rates are unlocking more cash flow, more profitability. So this is not a sideline time, I'm going to think about it. That was like 2 years ago. If you're still thinking about it, you're going to miss the wave of opportunity that's coming. And prices continue to go up, even though you have bubble markets like the Florida condo market that's getting clobbered right now. Nationally, overall, prices are still increasing. I would anticipate that they continue to increase, which means you want to get in on the action. So let's get into this training portion. I'm going to jump in. If you guys have questions, comments, drop them in the chat section, drop them in the comment section, and I'll just answer these questions as we flow through. If not, we'll have a very quick session because I can move through this one pretty quickly. If you're a new real estate investor, you're probably struggling with a lot of things, finding profitable deals, which could be part of the reason why you're here. Compete against cash offers, which we're going to talk a lot about today, running comps and knowing your ARVs, finding contractors, building rehab budgets, connecting with lenders. If you're struggling with any of these things, and you just want to hit an easy button, you don't want to like really grind for a decade like I did and try to figure this out on your own, just reach out, DM me, boots on the ground, DM me cash flow, and I'll send you a free training that shows you how we find, finance, rehab, tenant, and manage properties for our boots on the ground members. So that's something where we always have limited capacity. I think we only have one spot open right now, but you can jump in, take advantage of it, and try to get some deals going before the year is out. Into the training, the first thing, if you're trying to beat offers, you're trying to beat cash offers, you're trying to fight back against this market and sellers telling you no, you must know your numbers. The number one thing you have to know is your numbers. You have to be able to pull comps. You have to know what an after repair value is. You have to have some sense of what construction will cost for the project. If you don't know what the rehab budget will be at all, like you're looking at a property, it might look beat up, it's in shell condition, and you have no idea what this house is worth. Like I have no idea what it's worth. I have no idea how much it's going to cost to rebuild it. You can't put out the right offers because you're not going to have the confidence. I could tell you an offer to put out, but you need to see the data, see the numbers. You want to get familiar with how to run your own numbers so that you can build up the confidence to put these offers out. But if you don't know your numbers, you could never really be confident enough to beat another investor. You could outbid another investor, but that might be a bad move if the rehab costs more than you thought it would, which is highly likely if you don't have that knowledge. So the first thing you must do for any of this to work, we're going to talk about how to think through offers, some competitive offer strategies. But in order for it to work, you must know your numbers. If you don't know your numbers, reach out, DM me, text me. Try to get your hands on that information. Google it. Go on YouTube University. Like, try to figure it out. The best way to figure it out is to do something like our real estate ride along tour. That's the number one thing we do on those is we walk through every property with rehab budgets so that you can see the property, touch it, feel it, and then start to drink in the knowledge in an immersive way so that you know what you're looking at. You can go back, look at the pictures online, and okay, I was standing in that house. This is what it costs to do a house like that. Having that knowledge allows you to put out really top-notch offers. So as we're getting into how to win more offers, how to structure better offers, the next thing you need to do once you know your numbers is you have to get into the seller's head. That's like step one. A lot of people look straight at the data. They want to get out offers. I'm more interested in getting inside of the seller's head. I'm going to do that. If it's a wholesaler, I'm going to ask a lot of questions. I'm going to ask them about the seller. I'm going to ask them about themselves. So are you struggling to move this deal? What's going on with this deal? How long have you had it for? How many deals do you do a month? I'm going to start asking them questions because I want to get inside the wholesaler's head. What's motivating the wholesaler? Are they new? Do they do a lot of deals? Are they a broker? How can I get inside their head to a degree where I can now gain some type of a competitive advantage in the offer structure? So I've had deals with wholesalers where I've come to them and asked some of those questions. You know, what are you looking to do? How many deals are you doing? And I'm like, hey, I could buy 10 deals. They're like, oh, well, I can just hand you this one. I got it for 82,000. And it's like, oh, okay. Like they told you what they had it under contract for. So now you can, all right, I'll give you 5K over. Will that work? Sure. They'll take that 5K. That's good money for them. So you start to get inside the head of the different market participants. You can see what you can get away with in terms of deal structuring, how hard you can push, how low you can offer. I'll also go through the seller's agent. I mean, the buyer's agent, but they might be coordinating with the seller's agent. So they're going to be asking those questions. If you have a good investment-minded buyer's agent, they're going to be asking the seller, so what's going on? Why is the property? Some of these questions, what does the seller want? How fast do they want it? How long have they been on the market? Why has the property been sitting for 60 days? What's going on? There's some story behind that. So you want to get into all of these stories. How fast are they looking to move? Are they looking to stay in the property? You know, after the closing, we have some situations like that where the seller wants to sell the house and then stay for 10, 15 days. How does that work out? How can we structure that to our advantage? One of those situations like that, it was a deal I actually got paid to take over. I didn't even buy, I can't even technically say I bought this house. I got paid to take it over through, I got a lender, I did some creative financing structuring, and I got paid money. I walked away from the closing table with the property and cash in hand, literally. So you need to know some of these things. So I'll ask these questions. These are three really good questions to kind of ask yourself. But what does this seller want? Everybody thinks the seller wants cash. They want cash. I know they do, because that's why they're selling. Not necessarily. They might not want cash. They might be at a retirement age. And they're like, you know what? If we get hit with a ton of cash, we're going to have to pay taxes. I don't want to pay taxes. I'd rather take cash flow, especially if you're talking to another real estate investor who's selling. They don't want cash. They want cash flow. None of them want cash. Very few of them. Some do, but very few, right? If you present them with the opportunity to get cash flow instead of cash, a lot of them will take it. They'll say, wait, so you can give me like $1,500 a month, and then you take the property over, mark up the rents. That will give you a bit more of a negotiation edge. So keep that in mind. Not all of them want cash. Some people want cash flow. Some people want deferred payments over a period of time. Knowing that information could allow you to structure the deal at a higher level. So you have to ask these questions. You have to think through all of these things. One, what the hell do they want? Don't assume anything. Just ask the questions. The more questions you ask as a new real estate investor, the faster your learning curve, the faster you'll grow, because you'll get exposed to so many different concepts that you weren't aware of. Guys, if you're getting value, like, comment, subscribe, share the contents with somebody else who you want to get value. And if you want to learn about any of our programs, the Boots on the Ground program, the Real Estate Ride Along Tour, just DM me Cash Flow if you're on IG. And if you guys have any questions, I saw we got one question, but I'm not sure what that question is. MAOD, you can just maybe rewrite it somehow. If you guys have any questions, drop them in the chat section, drop them in the comment section. Second question I'm asking is, how fast do they want it? Like, how fast? At what speed? Do they need a quick close? Do they not care? I'm a seller. If I'm selling something, I kind of don't care most of the time. I'm just like, yeah, because I don't really like selling houses to begin with. So if I sell a house, I'm just like, whatever, 45-day close, I don't care. But some sellers, they got to move. They need that money. That money's already spent. They're getting a new car. They're going to get a new place. They're going to move out of town. So they want that money fast. So then you know what buttons to push. All right, I'm going to push the speed button on this offer. Hey, I can close in 14 days. I can close in 14 days, and I'm going to put down a larger deposit because I know that's what's motivating them. That might not motivate every seller. Believe it or not, I saw a seller turned down before. This really kind of like freaked me out a bit, because I knew both people who were offering on the deal. The seller took, one person offered 140,000 cash offer. The next person offered $120,000 hard money. Both were 30-day close. The seller took the hard money. I was like, what? They took the hard money. They took less, 120,000, so 20,000 less, and hard money and not cash. Why? They did a deal with a cash buyer. They didn't like it. It fell apart. So now they trusted the hard money more. They figured the lender would fund it. They only wanted to deal with people who were dealing with lenders. They didn't trust the cash. A lot of weird things will happen in this game, which is why you need to just keep putting out offers. Just keep putting out offers. How long have they been on the market? That's just going to tell you more urgency. You'll see more price drops, but you just know, like, if they're sitting there, they're getting desperate. Bottom line, they've been on the market longer than 90 days. They're getting super desperate. A lot of sellers will come in hot on shells, on properties for the BRRRR strategy. When they first list them, they want 110. Properties worth 75K. Somebody might jump in and put that under offer. Under contract. Somebody might not. It might sit there, and a lot do. I love when they sit there. I'll screen for them and then go find them. But all of these things are going to get you in their head. If you know how long they've been on the market, how fast they want their money, and what their motivation is for this money, and what they want, if they're motivated by cash or if they're motivated by cash flow. Now you have all the elements, or the big picture elements, in my opinion, that you need to properly structure your deal. So you don't even get to offer, in my book, unless you go through those first two steps. You must know your numbers. You must know your numbers, for starters. If you don't know your numbers, you can't structure anything. So get into some type of course that can teach you the numbers. Does not have to be mine, but get into a real estate mentorship course or program where you can learn the basic cost of construction, the process of construction, how much it costs, how much time things generally take. You need that level of information to increase your confidence. Then you need to get into the seller's head. Next, here's a high offer. Here's a high offer strategy for you guys. So this is a off the beaten path strategy. Not a lot of people think this way, but this is a way where you can go in. The high offer strategy. This is a strategy where you offer over the asking price or thereabout, or wherever you think you need to box out the competition. So that might be over asking. That might be, I don't think anybody's going to go past 90K for this piece of shit. It might be something along those lines. Like, this thing's a dump. Maybe it'll go to 92. I'll offer 95 just to box them out. So you make an offer to box out, and then you, with the intent to reduce that offer later. This is where this strategy is it kind of toes the line of fair, kind of like a fair practice, I would say, but it's part of the game because the sellers will also make up fake offers and do things to you, right? So you're kind of playing a warfare here, where the seller's agent's like, yeah, we got 3 offers over asking, and they don't have any. They're just full of it, but they're going to tell you that to try to run up the number. You might come in and make an offer over and say, all right, then I'm going to run in with my inspector. We're going to point out 5 things, and then we're going to tell them, look, you got to drop it 10K. The pros and cons of this. Well, the pros are you have an increased chance of winning offers now because your strategy is superior in many ways, because a lot of sellers want cash. A lot of investor owner sellers want cash flow, but a lot of sellers, just basic run of the mill, I'm selling my house, they want cash, and the most cash, the highest offer. So if you're making the highest offer, you're increasing your chance of win. You're going to box out the competition. And if you structure the deal right, you can still protect like your earnest money deposit with this type of strategy. As long as you can execute on your inspections and you know your numbers. You have to know your numbers at all times. The cons are repeat relationship damage. This is a small industry in that sense. So when you start navigating a city as a new real estate investor, you're going to make a lot of relationships. You're going to make relationships pretty fast, actually. It happens very fast. Like in a year, you could have like 30, 40 relationships that are valuable. Lots of lenders, lots of people, that are interested in what you do. But you're also going to meet a lot of realtors, a lot of the seller's agents. Let me put it this way. If you go into a C-class neighborhood, there's only like 15 key seller's agents in that market. 15 of them. So if you run in with a strategy that pisses everybody off, they're going to stop doing business with you. Literally, like they won't show the property. They don't want to, you can really generate a bad reputation. So you always want to protect that reputation. You want to toe the line. You want to play aggressively because they're playing ball too. But ultimately, you want to build good relationships where you can get inside the head of the seller. You do that through the seller's agent. So as you're building that relationship, you're not only structuring your deals better, but because you structure deals better, the seller's agent tends to get paid every time they talk to you. So because you're coming in with creative solutions, you're winning more deals, you're representing more of their commissions. So then they become more likely to deal with you favorably, to give you good information that allows you to structure the deal so everyone gets paid. And that can be more powerful than trying to outsmart them with a high offer strategy like this, even though it does work. You could get some pushback from the seller when you go to drop the price, unless you want to like, if I do this strategy, I already know there are problems with the property that are not being properly addressed by the seller or properly factored in by the seller. So I'm already going in knowing there are things wrong with this property. You don't want to do this strategy and nothing's really wrong with the property and you're trying to make things up. That's not going to work. There is an integrity point to this. Like there has to be things that are actively wrong with the property that do need to be adjusted in terms of price to make the deal work out. There is a profit point in a deal, and sellers often don't care. Sometimes it's our job to show them, look, you need to sell this thing at close to 90K for an investor to make money. I get that you personally want 110K, even though you only owe 20K on the property. I know you want to walk away with 90K because you made that up in your head. But in order for investors to make money, this shit needs to sell for 85. And here's the reasons why. The joists are cooked. There's water coming in through the roof. The electric hasn't been done since 1962. You know, like there's a lot of information there. There's a lot of things that you can point to really back somebody down. So you do need evidence and a process behind it. But it does work nonetheless. I would say it becomes like a 50-50 coin toss where people will essentially drop the price. So if you go back and negotiate, you typically have about a 50% chance of them dropping the price to make the deal work because they've now come off the market. And going under contract with you, even for 10 days, to the seller feels like a lot mentally. Like, man, I pulled the property off the market. I've been off for 10 days. Now this deal didn't go through. Now I'm starting back over from square one. So since they're always battling starting over from square one versus sticking with you, who's already in the deal, already seen it, and is coming to an appropriate price, and if there are things wrong with the property, then you have a pretty strong chance. But you could risk your EMD if you're being extremely aggressive. EMD is your earnest money deposit. This is the amount of money that you need to put down on a deal. So if you get a deal under contract, you might have to put $2,000 down to secure the contract. That would be, just the money that you're putting in. And you can set contract terms on that money. Like, hey, after 6 days, it's non-refundable. You can put different terms in. So depending on how aggressive you're being with your deal structuring, if I have a very unsophisticated seller, they might just be like, okay, 10 days sounds fine. If I have a investor seller, they're like, yo, 5 days, bro. Or if you have a wholesaler, they're like 24 hours, 5 hours. They're trying to create urgency. So that's how they roll. The next step, and guys, if you're getting value, like, comment, subscribe, leave a comment that says I subscribe, share this with somebody else who you want to get value. If you have any questions, drop them in the chat section, drop them in the comment section, and we will answer them. Especially for someone who's stuck on a price for no reason. Yeah, if people are stuck on a price for no reason, sometimes you give them, it's kind of like, what do they want? Well, they just want 110K. They just want to see 110K on a piece of paper. And show it to them. Sometimes you show it to them, but then you might have to beat them down in a different way. You have to win the deals. You got to play this game harder than other people at times. That's playing harder than another investor. It's like basketball. Like, the guy's not that talented, but he plays really hard. It's just going harder than somebody else. So you're like, all right, I'm going to show them what they want, and I'm going to beat them up on the pricing. But knowing that you have the acumen to do that. If you don't have the acumen to do that, you got to really tighten up. You have to tighten up. You got to tighten up. You got to get to the knowledge first. The first thing to invest in is definitely your knowledge. Because it's going to allow you to structure deals better. You could save, like, your net savings is insane if you invest in the education first. You have to. The next portion, and guys, you can on YouTube, you can click the links in the description as well and tap into some of the free trainings, the ride along tour, all of that stuff. If you're on IG, you gotta DM me. We had a question come in. Let me finish this and then I'll jump into this question. Guys, keep dropping your questions in. I'll double back for them. The last step is to just make more offers. Sometimes we can get in our own head in trying to predict what the seller's going to do or why we're losing or kind of all of these things. The solution to everything is volume. It's volume. Get more offers in. This is like baseball. Like you're batting 300, you know, you could be a damn all-star. It's just like you're not going to get every hit. That's not what this game is. You're going to get 30% hits, 25% hits when you get really good, or if you're in a oversupplied market. If you're in a very competitive market, 10% hit rate. If your hit rate is 10%, guess what that tells you? You need to get more offers out. You need to see more deals. You need to talk to more wholesalers. You need to get more aggressive. You need to get more aggressive. Somebody just asked, is this slide referring to properties off the MLS or off markets? It's referring to every property everywhere. The auction, the wholesalers, the MLS, the deals that went under contract and came back on the market. It's referring to every damn thing. Because the volume will solve it all. If you're just seeing more properties, constantly talking to wholesalers, constantly digging, constantly trying to get more information, you're going to get it. You're going to build the relationships, and you're going to see enough deals and get out enough offers so that your 10% will become bigger. There's only two solutions to a low hit rate. If I told you you're only going to get 1 out of 20 deals you make an offer on, or 1 out of 25 deals, some people are going to try to solve the ratio. Like, 1 out of 25 is bad. That's a bad ratio. Let me solve the ratio. Other people will just solve the volume and say, okay, I need to see 200 deals if I want to get 5. Or whatever it is. They're just going to go straight to that. And in this game, that will tend to get you ahead faster. Because on the journey of building volume, you become a player that can operate at scale. If you just focus on volume, no matter who you are, even as a new investor, you can just focus on the information that can get you in front of more deals. It's in something like our course content. Our 100 Keys Masterclass course content has that level of content where it's like, hey, you want to get in front of more deals, motivated sellers, auctions, this, that, go here, do this, do that. If you just focused on that information for 30 days, you could double your lead flow. No matter who you are, you could double or triple your lead flow. And then you supplement it with more education on how to run your numbers and evaluate deals. You supplement it. So now you're more accurate. Your whip, it becomes sharper. Because when the seller says, tell me why it's not worth 110, and you're like, bing, 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 and you start running them down the list, and they're like, damn, I don't know if this thing's worth 82. It's like, yeah, now we're looking at the same house. Welcome to the party. You want to have that level of confidence, because then you just won't, you will tend to not buy like really bad deals that need more work than you anticipate. Let me run through this and then we'll jump into more questions. Guys, if you have questions, drop them in the chat, drop them in the comment section. So the key is to getting more deals is always to make more offers. Making your offers better will increase your win rate, but volume trumps all strategies. Volume trumps all strategies. And also, analyze your wins to try to learn why your offer was accepted instead of rejected. Sometimes the failure is better. Smart people learn from failure. They fail a little bit, they learn, they get better. Exceptional people also learn from their wins. But a lot of people don't learn from wins. You'll see it in sports where people are used to winning all the time. Everything's easy. They don't face enough adversity. They don't learn. So as a new real estate investor, one of the worst things that can happen to you, believe it or not, is that you come in and everything goes just easy peasy smooth, because you won't learn anything. What you want to have is kind of like adversity with guide rails on it. So they can't really get super bad, but you want to see what's going on, because that's how you learn very fast. But you, as a new investor, as you're winning, I've seen a lot of people get away from this because people don't learn from winning, is they never analyze why they're winning. When they're winning, they're just like, everything's great. I'm slapping out offers. I'm crushing it. I'm getting deals. I got, 3 deals in 30 days, or like whatever that number is. I got a deal in 2 weeks. I got a deal in a week. I got whatever that is, right? They don't analyze it. They just are excited about the W. And they're like, yeah, I'm crushing it. What happens is then they focus on that deal. Then when they come back to having to acquire more properties, which is a muscle, it's a rhythm, they forgot how they don't have any concept of how they got the first deal. So then if it doesn't connect quickly, they don't know how to react. They don't know how to tweak. You have to analyze every win until you get to the level where you just know why you're winning. You're winning because you're doing what I'm talking about here. You're poking, prodding. You're trying to find hot buttons. You're like in the game. You're not just making offers. You're getting inside of mindsets. I want to know the seller's agent because I'm going to deal with them again. I want to know how hard they push. I want to know how full of shit they are. I want to know, because this is just a battle. The war is not over. It's never over. Not in real estate. Not as a developer. It's never over. So you're like, I'll see you again. You're not gonna bullshit me with those fake offers again. I'm gonna get you the next time. Like, that's the the mindset there. But analyze your wins. When you come back into this game, you need to know, why did I win? What about that offer was attractive? You need to ask your realtor. You need to be locked into the game. Because the strategy that got you the first deal will be the strategy that gets you the second, which will be the strategy that gets you the 100th. The 100th. It's the same strategy, maybe a little bit more wrinkles, maybe a little bit more moves you've added over the course of time. You've added some moves to your game. That's all cool. Add some moves to your game. Get a little bit better. But analyze your wins, not your losses. Most people, believe it or not, what do? Every time they lose an offer, they got a million questions for their buyer's agent. Why did we lose? What happened? Who beat us? What, all this shit about how they lost. But once they start winning, they don't have those same questions. They don't say, hey, why do you think they took our offer? They don't analyze what types of deals they're winning. They don't analyze how long the deals they're winning have been on market. Had they price dropped before? Where are they located? What's around them? All this information that is like right there. What was the condition? All that information, they're not seeing. So you got to analyze your wins as much as you analyze your losses. You will get a lot better doing that. So hope that helps, guys. Once again, if you want to hit that easy button and have me and my team find, finance, rehab, tenant, and manage properties for you, just DM me, boots on the ground. Just reach out, DM me. You guys can text me. We only have definitely one spot right now for the rest of the month. So whoever wants to kind of dive in on that, I'm sure will. There was a question. What do you do when an agent is non-responsive to your offers? Is there like an offer etiquette? I don't know. Like, in terms of the etiquette, I don't know if there's like necessarily an offer etiquette, but what I found with agents is they're only responsive in certain ways. So it depends on who's reaching out, you or a buyer's agent. If they're blowing off your buyer's agent, there may be something else going wrong. I would use that as grounds to probably skip trace somebody and just reach out to them directly. So if I'm not hearing from the agent, I'm going to assume that the agent is not hearing from the buyer. So therefore, they're not providing updates to anybody who's reaching out. They're actually having problems with the seller. So the seller's agent's now having issues. Maybe they're not communicating. The deal's been on the market too long. They're beefing. So the seller's agent's like, I'm done with this thing. I'm not even responding to this nonsense. This seller's annoying and won't sell. That happens a lot. Sellers agents do get pissed off at sellers. So now you could skip trace that person by their address, their software for 20 cents, maybe 10 cents. You could get that person's cell phone, email records, and now you can start contacting them directly about the property. Maybe they come out of contract with the realtor and you get a direct sale with them for that work and building the relationship at the right time. So I would probably push that button. I'll also, if I'm reaching out like directly with the seller's agent, some agents are very responsive via email, some via text. Some are like text people. And if you hit them in the wrong format, you won't hear from them. If they're constantly out in properties talking to people, then they might not do phone calls or different things. So your means of getting them is calling them, or they only do emails at their desk. Not really they're not as good on their phone because maybe they're a little older or whatever. You have to kind of know who you're dealing with. Maybe you text them and then you get that response. So I would just do multiple forms of communication. So guys, once again, I hope that helped. It looks like we're out of questions. We will be doing a live. I might do this live from a property, which will be on Wednesday, that I'm inspecting actually. So I'm going to be taking a look at this property. So I may go take a look at it and then show you guys some stuff that I'm seeing, some things you need to look out for when you're inspecting properties. That'll certainly help a lot of you. So that'll be on Wednesday, 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. And then we will have that inner circle call. For those who are in our inner circle, we'll be meeting Wednesday night and kind of just catching up on this week, what's going on in the market, and answering a lot of questions. So if you guys are interested in that, definitely reach out. Vino said, "Can I buy it?" I'm not sure. I'm not sure what you're asking about. But guys, definitely reach out about that. If you're interested in a real estate ride along tour, you on YouTube, you can click the links in the description. On IG, just DM me ride along. I'll send you access to that. And stay locked in this game, man. There's a lot of year left. Believe it or not, we still have a quarter, and you can do a lot in a quarter. The market is rapidly changing. Prices are stable in the affordable markets, and there's just a lot of opportunity. We have Section 8 rents. The October 1st rents should get announced soon. We're like right around the corner. Maybe we get some increased rents, more cash flow in a couple of weeks. So it's just a crazy time to be in the game. And we'll see what happens with this election as well. Who wins, what that does to the market. So there's a lot to look forward to. But I am projecting that 2025 will be a very impactful year for the real estate players. I think it's going to be an intense time for new real estate investors to get in and get started. Be a really good time. So hope that helped. Brian Grimes, Real Estate Mentor. I'll see you guys on the next one.